Hi, today is Monday the 25th of June 2016, so I thought I'd just do a quick video clip just to update you with my court case. The court case is still pending with the Court of Appeal. The three doctors, well, I thought they were all doctors, that the councils are representing. All three of them actually didn't qualify, and this was confirmed at the High Court that two of them were nurses, and one of them was a sports medicine doctor, which is an occupational therapist. Now, by law, only a psychiatrist is supposed to do a mental health assessment on anyone. They're the only ones that are actually qualified to make any mental health assessments on anyone. Now, in regards to the mental health assessments that were made, the one that I found out were two nurses. They're the ones who wrote the report in 2009. Through when I was working for the Ministry of Justice. I was referred there at that time, but it was definitely in relation to defamation and the cyberbullying that I was going through at the time in the workplace, in public, and but I didn't know at the time that they were actually nurses. But I was referred by a manager due to defamation, and that is able, I'm able to consistently prove that with the medical certificates from my doctor at the time, that clearly talks about the cyberbullying within the workplace that I was subject to at the time. This was in 2009. I recall a manager at the time had actually asked me to go for a mental health assessment. I actually refused. I recall refusing because I knew my rights, that you can, the Bill of Rights, that you can refuse to go to any medical appointments. It's your right to, you don't have to. At that time, I was advised that the ministry could actually force me to go if I didn't go. This is way back in 2009, July 2009. I was quite, upset that I was, being asked to go, because I knew very well there was nothing wrong with me, but rather that I was going through, serious privacy breaches. With people passing personal information into my private life and work, vice versa, and it's breaches that have been going on as far back as 2006, and it just eventually got worse and worse and worse. So by 2009, it was pretty serious stuff for me at that time. I was I felt like I was under attack in every area of my life. At that time, I was doing, I recall doing Unison Dance Crew, and I actually recall taking that issue to court at that time, and that should have been sorted out legally, properly, because I was the one who actually used my own initiative, and I legalised the group. At that time was purely out of pure intentions to help the group at the time. It was something that I took on board myself, but I made sure that I covered my own track. It was a voluntary thing. No one paid me to do it. I never got any money out of it myself. In fact, I lost quite a bit of time. I lost because I used a lot of my own money, and then I did all the legalising of it myself. Then I took it to court to close it. It didn't work out. I was set up and pushed out. I also, at that time, I knew that my identity had been stolen. I just couldn't do anything about it, but I had to first deal with the issues that I was confronted with at the time. And at that time, I do recall taking that issue to the disputes tribunal, but that court case was sabotaged too. It was just, it was terrible. It should have been straightforward, but it wasn't. But somebody did steal my identity, and then I just went through a really serious time for, unsafe time for myself. And that report was done in 2009. And when I went, I never met these two, well, I thought they were doctors, and I found out at the High Court hearing on the 21st of September 2017 before Judge Gordon. Both hearings were before Judge Gordon, that counsel actually confirmed that they were actually nurses. But at that assessment, at that time, I clearly stated my reasons of why at that time I was subject to cyberbullying and privacy breaches, and just, the workplace environment was not good. And that, all the medical certificates that my doctor wrote referred to the discrimination that I was going through within the workplace. So what actually happened was I was also really upset with that report, because there were things in there that I never mentioned, which was brought up at the hearings that I had at the courts. It was really, really important for me to clarify and to actually highlight that, because that comes under fraudulent information. Basically, these two nurses whom I thought were doctors, basically the information they wrote in there was not correct. I didn't know what they wrote in there until I actually asked for a disclosure of my file, and it really upset me. And that was when I did the protection order. What was it called? The protection disclosure, protected disclosure application, where once, as long as you've got sufficient evidence, you can actually, it makes the authorities to actually investigate. But a protected disclosure is for things like privacy breaches. There are things that you believe that are happening, like privacy breaches, like people passing you personal information, about you to somebody in your private life, vice versa. And that's why I did a protected disclosure, because that was the only kind of application that kind of covers the complaint that I was complaining about, which is normally also rooted from defamation. And, it's common sense, got that going on for a long period of time. You're just looking for trouble, and it was going to be a real serious danger risk to those within my private life, and it's exactly what happened. So I put that protected disclosure together, and then I officially disclosed, had a meeting with the managers at the time, which was Nikki McKinley, and Tony Fishers definitely was aware of it, because there's a letter that I received from him that he was aware of it. But the meeting was with Kevin McGorry, a PSA delegate, myself, Chris West, who was also he was a senior HR for the Ministry of Justice at the time. But that protected disclosure never got investigated. Instead, they shoved it under the mat and people left their jobs. Well, that was fine for them, but it wasn't fine for me. I knew my life was still at risk because they were pretty serious allegations. But in that protected disclosure, I did draft up a affidavit, and I also had that report that I asked where I went for the mental health assessment. I asked for my personal profile. When I read the personal profile, I was pretty upset with what I had actually read. So that was in the protected disclosure, plus loads and loads of emails, just enough to show that I was being subject to cyberbullying within the workplace. But yeah, it was ignored and it was shoved under the mat and nothing happened. But instead things got worse for myself. So what actually happened after that is that it was brought up later on. I think it might have been 2013, and I did ask, because, yeah. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that for now, and I'll come back to it soon. Okay? It's just got to go for now, but I will continue with this video soon.
Hi everyone. Today's date is the official date is the 18th of June 2026. Welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. I'm the narrator of this video clip and all my other video clips on YouTube channel and on Facebook page and on my Facebook page. Both my social media are exhibits for court. As you all know, that I've been actively putting my real life court case on social media, for reason being is for intervention, basically to me fighting for my life, needing help and intervention, and obviously because I'm representing myself, and in my case the Crown is the defendant and I am actually the plaintiff. So that video clip was just a bit I used just as an introduction. As you can see, it was taken in 2016. It was my first court case started on the 4th of July 2016. The first body corporates was against the Ministry of Health and City Med. So that's what I was talking about. And me putting my protected disclosure back then. I've used the whole process for that case with the Ministry of Health and Social and City Med. My case went through to the District Court, High Court, Court of Appeal and Supreme Court. Unfortunately, I wasn't satisfied because I was locked out, blocked out, and I wasn't happy with the judgments. I made complaints to the Judiciary Review, misconduct in regards, I was like clearly my court cases, all of them clearly indicates there are unlawful strikes and that I was actually locked out. Little did I know while I was going through what I was going through. And I was actually kind of like, personally, I was shocked at the impeding, the sabotaging, the lockout. But this is like what you guys are witnessing is real. So today, I chose that video clip because I wanted to go over the evidence that I spoke about on this clip, because I feel it's really relevant. So keeping in mind, I'm dealing with my personal property. So basically I'm dealing with me as a person and my property, my personal property, which is my personal profile, my existence, everything to do about my personal private life while I was working for the government. That is what you call your personal property. So I'm dealing with my identity, my entity, my ideas, my intellectual property, or anything the like. And basically I'm dealing with anything that's tangible to do with me. So my YouTube channel is my personal property. My court cases are all my personal property. Everything I'm entitled to as a civilian and a legal individual citizen in New Zealand, that is my property. So obviously I've sued 6 body corporates And so in my case, the Crown is the opposition. Unfortunately, it's sad to say, they've been cheating all this time, and I've had to do what I'm doing to save my life because it's still very critical, my situation. The case is definitely still active in the Court of Appeal, and like my social media platform is working, and I've had to denounce the ads. I've had to denounce the global coding, so everyone can see where I'm coming from. It's working, but they're still doing it. I'm kind of horrified that it's been going on for so long. I didn't really realize what people were doing until I did my court case, and then I started witnessing. I realized everyone had coded everything I was doing like Big Brother. I come from more of a criminal mindset, like criminology. If you're into criminology or criminal law, it's horrific what everyone has done to me. It's illegal. They have glued themselves to my emotions, to everything to do with me in my private life. So even though people think you're private, you're walking around minding your own business, you're not really, because that people you don't know globally have turned you into a product, meaning that they can attack you at any time, and I can actually prove that legally. So basically we're dealing with participation in organised criminal group. So it is a criminal case, and I can prove that body corporates and individuals have all conspired and participated in locking me out, and I'm being exiled basically and isolated. And but the opponents have embedded themselves in my personal space and have actually taken turns using me or conspiring secretly. And then the unlawful judgments is because everyone is trading in influence, and obviously with the coding and all that explains why I have not been able to go forward. My situation is very critical. It's very serious, and I just thought today I will just update you with my movements in regards to what I've been doing recently, and waiting for the day for the judges to make a decision. The judges are aware that my court case in my social media platform, my court cases have gone live because I've needed the intervention, and hopefully also to help others, because unless you are aware of the tactics of the opponent, what's happened to me can happen to anyone, and you can one day wake up and realize your whole world is destroyed because other people have secretly conspired without notice or consent. So basically I'm self-representing myself, but the system is where we have to actually, everything is done online, and we're sending all our personal private information online to the hub desk, to the ministry. I'm talking about our court cases or anything basically now, is you are forwarding by email documents and everything, whereas the other court system, we used to have consultation with one-on-one with manpower, but this system, everything is controlled and manipulated by people who in the middle receiving the documents that we're sending in and all our correspondence. And then we've got the call centers who we speak to on the phone. And so that is the new age system that I have been subject to. The prolonging and the easy way to have for the opponent to have the upper hand over your situation is inhumane, unfair, and it is definitely illegal. So basically, I am self-representing myself still at this point in time, and I'm just getting familiar with how this new age system actually works. Unfortunately, it has not been in my favor. I'm definitely being locked out. The system is is set out. If you're blacklisted or on the black market, the motive and intent is to make sure you never recover. And obviously there's sufficient evidence to prove conspiracy to commit murder after the fact. And my situation is still very critical. Basically just waiting at the mercy of the courts to do a judgment in my favor. But the courts know that my case has gone global, and it's on social media because I've had to, and I've had to denounce what the opponent are doing. They're doing just try and get my head around the situation. They're doing smear campaigns is the word. They call it smear campaign, but it's actually hate crimes. But how they're doing is really cunning, but it is still illegal if it's damaging another person, harming another person's reputation, or like in my case, everything has been against me, and I have not been able to go forward because of the interference and the sabotaging. Globally, on my personal property, I can prove that I've had other people globally, like I've shown. If you've been watching my other video clips, I'll try and keep this video clip short and get stuck with the basics. Get to the point, because what I have on my mind on this for this video is actually really important. But there is sufficient evidence to prove in the criminal law that I've had other people, they call themselves foreign power, that my life has definitely been a relationship game by force. I haven't consented to any of it. So other people, and it's all in the middle issues, okay? So it's public, international. They have turned me into a product, and I have found that the opponents are disguising themselves as products also. But the game is absolutely real. The social media on TV, I can just tell just from listening to what they've got on social media, whether it's about me or about the opponent. But this is the game. Okay, it's definitely home invasion has taken place. Definitely relationship scam. Heaps of people will have conspired together to take me out personally. So that's what I've been up against. And this is how intimate it is. Like, you're blocked in, you're suppressed. Home invasions definitely taken place. Okay, so I just noticed that my video clip was off, so I've just turned it on again. So this video clip here, basically it's me just putting in graphic design what I see when I watch TV, because it's all about me, because they've coded me, and I'm used to it. And the other thing is so dangerous is because I am the product. So to them, I'm the enemy. So they're conspiring. They're trying to stop me from getting my legal justice, or for my case to go to the criminal jurisdiction, because they know that they will get prosecuted. But what I've gone through, it is intentional. It's set out that I'm being eliminated forever, with the intent of only one way, meaning there's no way I will ever get out of this. Well, that's what they think. However, I know that there are a lot more honest people that still exist than those that are corrupt. In saying that, many don't even know that they're subject to being going through what I'm going through without even realizing it. But I can just listen to the radio, watch TV. I'm very gifted with discernment, and because I just know exactly what to look for in a criminal case. So the people that I've been talking to in between, they're either on your side or they're not. And I have found most people are not telling me the truth. And it's my experience that has helped me survive what I've gone through. So it's culture. Okay, it's religion, and other people's beliefs are involved in this. But I'm within my right to fight for my own liberty. And that's what it is. They're playing games with my liberty. I'm the victim. They're not the victim. So I've had to denounce their criminal tactics, because it is a criminal case. Okay, so historically I've been pinned down. All right, this here basically, like, everywhere I've been is a crime scene. Every place I've lived is a crime scene, meaning that in my home, someone is listening, or espionage is taking place for this illegal intimacy game to take place. Okay, they've studied me for years. It's a sport, and so I've had to denounce, these people as things go on. Okay, so the opponent is stealing. Okay, so they're obtaining things that doesn't belong to them by deception, or causing loss by deception. Okay, their tactics, their hate, heinous hate, petition, all those things is a crime. Okay, they can think it's a joke, because I know everybody's got a sense of humor, but making jokes of somebody's liberty when they're in distress, or trying to go forward, or struggling to their own well-being and their mental health, well, they can't go forward, and other people are making a joke of their life secretly, globally, and it's not funny. Okay, but legally, by law, those people can actually be charged of a criminal offence easily. Okay, so definitely racial disharmony historically. So there's a lot of, like, I can just listen. There's just the petitions that the opponent are doing. It's global. It's a criminal alliance. They're trying to stop me from rising, or they're sabotaging all my relationships, or wherever I go. It's absolutely inhumane. But recently I'm going to, first, before I go on to what I was going to talk to you about, just to update you with my case. All right, guys, I'm just gonna keep an eye on what I'm doing. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to find what I'm looking for here. Okay, my case is actually beyond. I mean, I have to say I am a walking miracle. I'm not saying that to lift myself up. I'm saying that as the truth, because people have tried to kill me, and I'm still alive to talk about it, even to this day. Okay, just hold on a moment. I'm just trying to find something that I had to I want to go over it. And this is just to confirm, like, I wanted to show evidence to bringing to, so I can talk about what I'm going to share with you guys for this video clip. Okay, this in 2009, I mentioned about the Ministry of Justice sent me to go for a mental health assessment. Okay, so this here's the actual report. It was written on the 8th of July 2009 because of gossip. Okay, this I'm basically showing you evidence of a conspiracy linking to them using the misuse of they use the act to defame my character so nobody will believe me. Okay, so basically you'll be witnessing evidence that is actually, this here is actually an exhibit, and that's why it's so important when a judge is actually dealing with a profile like mine, if there are other matters in court. Okay, this is what competent judges did when I was working at the courts. They want to see everything because you're talking about one person, okay? But they've used me for money laundering. They've split all my cases up, different lawyers for the Crown, and they're representing the Crown as a defendant. So if you ask me, I just think that's just such an unfair system, okay? Anyway, I'm just going with it. But this here is the report I wanted to go over. When I got this report, I was really upset. And this report, there is actually an affidavit in reference to the report, me pointing out exactly why I didn't like, why I wasn't happy when I got my information, the report, and why the ministry had actually sent me for a mental health assessment. I mean, there was nothing for them to send me for a mental health assessment when I was working for my employer. They had just decided that that I needed to go. But while I was working, I was complaining about the work environment, the discrimination. I mean, who wouldn't? But I was bullied, okay? I was outnumbered by my allies. They were using substitutes. That's easy to prove now. And at this point in time, there is sufficient evidence to prove that Moana is, she's Croatian, okay? I have to say this because these are the people and their culture, their country are all on their side. I'm just explaining the game. So obviously, it's my word against theirs, but I'm showing you guys legally by law, this is a conspiracy game, and this is my evidence to prove that I'm being racially discriminated and racially and personally attacked by people. Okay, so this here's a report. When I read it, at this point in time, this is why it's so important to read what people write about you if they're doing assessments on you, because if you are in a hate alliance, everything is negative. They're trying to create evidence, okay? But all this can be used against them in court if it's not accurate. So I've contested all this, and I know I've won, okay? But just reading the report really upset me, because on this report they had actually put that I was actually raped, and I just know me. I mean, I never told I got married at really young. I had ended up having got into a relationship as a teenager, and had my firstborn at 17. Okay, half of the reason why I'm being blocked out is because those that are secretly conspiring are relying on my information to embarrass me, to try and shame me. A suicidal pact, what they've done. Okay, but on this report, if the judge has a look at it, it clearly, there's an affidavit that's all been exhibited and highlighting what I found wrong with this report. But I found that this report, the evidence on it was the starting point of these two nurses, okay, behind the scene. I've never met them in my life, ever. I mean, we just talked for about 30 minutes to 40 minutes together, and and that was it. Okay, so out of that report, out of that assessment, they wrote this report, and I was not happy with what I wrote. I was really, really upset, about it, because they had put in there that I was raped. The truth of the matter was, it was true. So why is this report important? This report is important. It's to prove to the judge, okay, if it went down through the criminal jurisdiction, that somebody behind the scene had already been studying and doing unlawful investigation on myself. So they knew that I was raped, and yes, I was raped. Okay, and I was also at that point of time, I was scared as hell because I never told anyone. And common sense is, if somebody knows that they've raped someone and there's a likelihood that they could go to prison, they would all conspire secretly to make sure that that nothing positive happens to me, so I don't press criminal charges. Well, just to update you all with that, I'll just go here. Okay, if you can see here, this is the Crimes Act. For any sexual violation, like myself, is definitely rape. Okay, it's 20 years imprisonment. Okay. I lost my virginity. I mean, this is really like humbling for me to even come out with this, but I feel you guys are witnessing a real life conspiracy by the government, by my employer, and by those who are supposed to be watching over the liberty and the public welfare and other people. I mean, these people are getting paid lots and lots of taxpayers' money to be honest, to write honest stuff, and not be on the side of the defendant, even if it is the Crown, okay? But basically I'm just proving to you that the conspiracy with what I've been going through has been personal, has been intimate, and I knew that people had already dug my past to use against me. And in saying that word, they were digging up see who they can work with together to build a hate alliance, okay? Obviously, they tried to build a hate alliance because I'm divorced with my ex, and if you watch the other videos, they've tagged him, okay? He's had he's had a background of drugs, alcohol, and also he was also a gang member in a gang. I have never ever, none of my kids, we've never associated with anything to do with anybody to do with gangs. But what I've gone through, those in government or whoever's behind the conspiracy of coding, they have coded me, coded him. The coding it tips off to the other gangs that everybody knows how gangs operate. They're all very territorial over certain things. And I have found that some of for example, the Treaty of Waitangi or Treaty, the Māoris are very territorial about their own beliefs. And then we've got all the other cultures, other island cultures, they're all very territorial in their beliefs also. But they've all ganged up on me, and people are actually moving by coding. So I'm very lucky to be alive, okay? But what you're witnessing is evidence of a illegal global conspiracy by those internally misuse of conduct. And obviously, I'm contesting the unlawful strikes. But yes, I was raped, and I can confirm today that I have made, I've been praying about it for a very long time, and I have actually laid an official complaint against the men that raped me, and I've let the judge know in the court, because I know that they have their own way of finding out whether I'm telling the truth or to investigate what I've actually complained about. But the criminal alliance, I've been, like, I'm a woman on my own, and I can detect the gangs. They're in my space. Okay, so I was scared as hell, because when I knew I was going through the privacy breaches, I just knew it was a matter of time. Those that find me a threat will join forces, and that's exactly what they've done. Okay, so that's why I've had to denounce. Just bear with me a moment. Because people have actually taken turns using me and stealing off me, and they're inciting it globally. That's the coercion versus, they've titled me Mexican, and they've just titled me different things, but I know they're talking about me. But that is serious, and that is dangerous, and that is unfair. I'm the victim, and to have all these people doing what they're doing, that is so serious. And it's so serious that people are getting murdered one by one. So don't take anything I say lightly. They're the things that I have witnessed personally, because it's me that they're talking about. And it's just common sense, that they're desperate. They're like, personally, I am being blacklisted. I'm just trying to look for something here. Okay, I've got this up. Because my case is so serious, genocide, hostage taking, money laundering, every single legislation has been broken upon me as the person who has been personally victimized. Just keep an eye on the time. So I'm going through, basically now I'm just going to go through the process with the rape. Why did I decide to do it? I see, well, I have been praying about it for a long time. I've known that these men have been part behind it because of the coding. I mean, they were putting, the game is so bad that they've dug up my past, and everyone that has committed crimes, even people in the Unison dance crew, they're all coded globally in their ads on TV when I watch. That is what you call a conspiracy at the end of the day if I don't make it, okay? But I know I'm going to be okay. I can't wait to put everything behind me, but I just know I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing, spiritually and legally. So I have officially laid complaints to the police about the rapes. So I've just got to go with the process. Is it easy to prove that I was raped? Yes. But I know that they've used it's a hate alliance. Okay, so they've all ganged up together because I'm the threat. That's totally cowardice. Totally cowardice. And they've endangered even my own family over the years. In 2010, I had to break. My kids didn't know I was going through what I was going through. I knew what I was going through. I knew that people were intimately in my business. I'm just trying to find something. And it is definitely, they call it, it's a serial cybercrime. Okay, the alliance I'm connected to. They've cling themselves to me. I'm not clinging to them. I don't give a damn about what they do. I just want them out of my space. But they are doing petitions secretly, globally, using the misuse of devices. They've defamed my character, made me ugly. They've used my medical records to defame me. So basically all this younger and the fresher. It is like, I call it cat gang. It's a mixture of European extremists working together. And the game is set out one way, which means if I don't make it, I'm either being murdered or they're waiting for me to die. Basically, that's how the evidence, that's what this alliance is doing. So that is the latest thing I wanted to update you all with. So I've basically had to denounce all these women because it's a relationship scam. And I know it's their reputation that they're trying to fight for, their property. But I've had to denounce things too on behalf of Henry Cavill. Like, he knows, like when we talk about it, he just wants me, he knows what everything I'm denouncing. And I've done that because I'm doing it on behalf of he's fighting for his liberty too and trying to go forward just like I have. But this is what the global relationship scam is doing. It is not just for fun, it's for real, okay? But it is a conspiracy game linking to the government globally, okay? And they are killing people one by one, secretly, or others get caught and then they commit suicide. But it is definitely a money laundering process. Okay, so follow me on Facebook. I'd like to keep you guys up to date with everything I'm going through. I've settled in my new home, and I'm just taking one day at a time going forward. I'm doing counselling, and it's like I got to get back into the space of connecting a bit more with people. But I have to be totally honest, I find it very hard to trust people, and because of obviously of what I've gone through, and just the fact that the being raped is actually a very, very big thing. And I know the process, and I know that I just know without a shadow of doubt that God wants me to deal with it. And so I've had to deal with it, but I can confirm that these men's names, like I'm telling you, the defendants that have broken serious laws linking to those in government are being coded and tipping off globally. Basically, why they're doing that is they're tipping off their people to help them. And so if your environment is not safe, meaning these people are doing what they're doing because they're being tipped off watching the game on social media, because that is serious. That is what you call a conspiracy. It's the new age system, and the game is set out for it one way, meaning the whole idea is there is no justice for the victims. But the system is changing. People are starting to be aware of the game, because I know a lot of people get involved with things not meaning to do any harm, but that is what happens when you make wrong decisions. You put yourself at risk and your own family at risk. So basically, I have found all other religions and cultures have all conspired secretly to conspire to keep me down or lock me out of the court system. So basically, my situation is still quite critical. I need urgent medical attention. And so I'm just praying that I'll probably get some closure very soon, in a few weeks, and I'll let you guys know. But at this point of time, I'm just going with the process. Okay, and I know that a lot of people are very religious, and people have judged me. You know, people have actually judged me. That's why they've used substitutes to compare the substitute to me as a form of defaming. Okay, that's where the Moana and in the Echo, they've used her name, but it's been like a white supremacist extremist and other cultures playing games to attack me, to take me out personally. So as you know, I am a Christian, and I honestly believe God is using me to actually reveal the power of of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and that how even the laws came about in the beginning was because of true Christianity, of men and women who were godly, men and women led by the Holy Spirit or believe in integrity. Okay. And so, because some people have this mindset that when you're a Christian, you have to forgive. Yes, you can forgive, but that doesn't mean that people aren't made accountable or consequences of, whatever they've committed, a misconduct, that's a breach. And some have defamed me, trying to make out I'm a monster, but it's only because I am right. They're in my space conspiring against me. But this here is basically says, let love be without hypocrisy, and arbor what is evil and cling to what is good. So basically, quite clearly, the God of the universe does love and does hate at the same time. And so I've basically just pointing everyone using the Bible as for spiritual reasons, and not to be deceived, and like learning how to be an individual for yourself, and learning how to make individual decisions that's best for you, because not every single circumstance is exactly the same. They're not. None of them are exactly the same. Even this new age system where they're trying to eliminate certain personalities, because that's what we're going on, but they're cheating. It's a conspiracy what everyone's done to me. Okay, so I'll leave it at that.